Today I am finally cleaning my freezer. I have done my fridge, I have done my pantry. Pantry's hanging in there, fridge is looking good. I need to do my freezer. Now we have a very small upright freezer on top of our fridge, and I do have a small freezer in under our stairs. Both are going to get gutted today because this is what my freezer looks like. It's full and I cannot see what is in there. Now you guys would know from my other organizational videos, my organizational videos are more from a practical point of view, not from an Instagram worthy point of view. And this freezer's just not doing me any justice. It is not a big freezer, so I really need to maximize the space, but like it's all just literally just hanging in there. I don't know what I've got. It's chock-a-blocks. Even for the freezer door, it's just got things shoved in there everywhere. I've got packets of frozen deli meats. I think I've got a bunch of them in there. My husband actually enjoys eating the crust off the end of the bread, so I've just got like these throughout my freezer. So I want to gut, clean and organize, and I want to show you some tips along the way on things I do to maximize a small freezer space. But first I gotta empty all of this. So this is our other freezer. It's a small little bar freezer. I'm gonna empty that out, but I'm just gonna do it in 3, 2, done. So completely emptied. So this is what I'm working with. I haven't even sorted it yet. I do need to work quite quickly with the freezer. I'm doing this on a very warm spring day, but I've just got loads of stuff that's been shoved up the back. I mean, it's fine. That's chicken soup and that's a spag bowl, but it's just, it is not working. I've got stuff everywhere. And something I'm also going to be trying to do, I want to move away from these bags here. When I freeze them, when you freeze something, they expand, and I find when these expand, it's very easy for these to get like a little puncture in the plastic, and then when I defrost it in my fridge, it leaks in my fridge, and I'm finding it really frustrating. So what I have done is I'm slowly converting my way over to these here, which are the cinchy bags. I bought these. They're reusable. They've got the seals on them. I find them, actually at the moment, I'm really enjoying them. I bought these, and I also bought a Kmart one, which we used the other night. So we bought the silicone ones here. I found with these ones, if you overfill it, the silicone can pop open on it. These ones here are going really well. They've got like a nice big base when you open them up and then seal them. So this one here's got pre-made lemon ice cubes and pre-made blueberry ice cubes. I'm actually gonna try and move away from even having these kind of containers and purchase more of this sort of style, so I can stack things like a library. I want them to be like books, so when I can go and I can see my collection of pre-made meats, my collection of frozen fruit and that sort of thing. So I'm going to clean through this bench here, organize it into categories, and I've got a pretty good idea, guys, on how I want my freezers to go. The small freezer, I can feel this cold air just radiating off. The small freezer under our stairs, believe it or not, these fit perfectly under there. When I buy like the mince or the sausages from Coles, I just keep them in these packets and they just stack and freeze so well. Again, like a library in the freezer, it's labeled, I know what it is. I don't want to create more work for myself. These are just handy. Where are they? The little silicone bags and the cinchy bags are more handy to stop this kind of stuff happening. If I put that in the fridge and it defrosts, it is highly likely that bag's got a hole in it, and then I get raw liquid or the sauce of a pre-made meal everywhere. So I'm gonna sort. We're gonna work quick because it's hot and things are heating up. Alright, I've sorted it. I have got far too many frozen fruit and veggies. Well, not so much veggies, but fruit. I've got strawberries, bags of strawberries, bags of blueberries, bags of pineapple, pomegranates, raspberries, passion fruit. That's a bag of apple juice. So when I buy the kids apple juice in the 3 litres, I portion it up and freeze some. So there might be like 3 weeks that go by and they don't use the apple juice. It doesn't go off, it just goes into the freezer bag and that goes into the fridge, and I've got apple juice to use for that week. And this is that cinchy pouch that I'm using. They've actually got like a really good base to stand up. That's why I like these ones. The Kmart ones aren't too bad, but I can't get them to stand up when there's content in them. I'm sure there's other brands that are better than the Kmart ones. I just wanted to trial some options from this type to this type to the silicone type, and I'm actually really liking these. So I can literally start creating my library. My mum went to Costco the other day and grabbed some sausages, so I put them into the cinchy pouch like that there, so they can just go into the meat section. So I've got berries, I've got the ice packs, I've got treats and that, which goes to show I thought I had actually a couple more bags of muffins. I don't, which is fine. I've got my pastry, the lollipops. This is all like the dinner and meats and that sort of thing, and all of, like, I mean, I've got chorizo, ham, salami, streaky bacon, chorizo, and some beef sitting there. I mean, I don't need to buy any more deli meats for quite a few weeks. I actually want to make some pizzas up, so perfect. So by me categorizing, I've got a bit more of a visual on things that I do need and don't need. So what I'm actually going to do is write on my board up here things I do not need. I do not need frozen fruit. I do not need frozen deli meats. I do have an inventory, a free inventory download for freezer, fridge and pantry. If you get a copy for free, put on there how much of this you've got, how much of this has got, and as you go through it, just start crossing it off. What I'm gonna do now is just let the camera roll, and I'm gonna sort this and put it away. Most of this stuff here is gonna end up in that little freezer there, and we're gonna try, oh, and sorry, that's all my bread. I just pulled all the bread out and chucked it over there. I'm gonna condense, look at all that plastic. Gonna condense it down. This is all I'm working with. When we move homes, I'm gonna get a slightly bigger fridge freezer. So this unit here will upgrade, and that will get upgraded as well into a larger one, because I like to stockpile, pre-cook and freeze things. It's not because I'm doing it because it serves me a benefit for planning ahead on things. I mean, I don't need a bigger fridge or freezer. Well, I kind of do with my cook. Anyway, you get the idea. I'm going to start putting all of this away. So this is a great example of what I don't enjoy when my freezer isn't set up correctly, when things freeze. They freeze in really awkward shapes, and it makes it hard when you reorganize the freezer. These are stuck together, and look how it's just frozen. Like it's obviously it's just been wedged into the freezer and it's slipped down and it's just frozen in that position there. That is why I want to organize more in like a bookcase system, like a book system where I can just slide these in, they stand up, they freeze well. I had this standing in the freezer and that's how it froze. Potentially with more of like my soup mixtures, I might want to like lay them down to freeze more flatter and then stand them up. Because that base pops open, I could fill it up and the soup could just fill this bag. So I'm really enjoying these here.
What you said, what I said, that might have made it worse.
Now, my son is obsessed with these. I'm not going to say what they are because he's sitting over there and he will want some of them. And these kind of boxes just annoy me. I don't think it matter what brand I purchase, they're just left like that. If you saw before, I actually had a bunch of corn spilt in that freezer. Because again, this is a really sturdy bag, but the whole bag just popped open and corn everywhere, like the top's even sealed on it. So I actually got larger ones of these kimchi pouches. I purchased these and I thought they'd come in really handy for larger cooking meals, but I'm also going to use them to freeze these meat pies just to have a sort of more mess-proof packaging. So yeah.
Who left, get in trouble again? That star's got nothing on you. That one's brand new, still it's got.
I think I might do the same with the chips. I really like these Coles frozen chips, but I mean, this is the bag I'm working with. And you can get those clips, and we've got them to close them. But again, I think this is just gonna make it a lot easier for stacking and placement. And we can see what it is, how many are left. So I'm gonna put them into another large bag. And that can go in the freezer.
Shooting me with words, but I won't let them bruise.
And I've just done the same with my frozen broccoli and cauliflower. And I can just fold down the top if I don't need it. It's got that nice thick base. And these are actually working out really well. I'm really, really happy. This is a slightly smaller size down. That's got my frozen coffee ice cubes. That's got the kids' apple juice, and that's got the other ice cubes. Nice big base, and they just sit in there like a book. I pull my food out like a book. This is half a banana cake. I hope you guys know my hack for this here. So we only usually go through like a half or leftovers, and I don't use all the icing. So what I do is I put the icing into a separate bag, and then when it all defrosts, the icing is not stuck to the cake. I put a little hole in the corner of the bag that the icing's in, and then pipe it on top. So that can sit in the freezer and not have wasted icing on top of the cake. Guys, I'm done. I'm seeing my hands up, they're freezing cold, and time was against me, so I started rushing in the end. But let me show you what my freezer looks like now. Much more organized. Please note, I am not going for a Pinterest-worthy, Instagram highlighted freezer. I'm going for a functional freezer. These bags here work so well. I didn't plan on using them for these. I planned on doing it for like massive bulk cooking of meats and that, but having them like this works out really well. They're literally like a book in my freezer. I've tried to group my breads that we use every day together. That spinach is going to go into a video later in the week for a snacks video, so she won't be there much longer. I've kept the corn there. It's actually going to be with dinner tonight, and I don't want to waste the bag it's in just because. So I'm going to finish up that corn tonight, and then I can use another one of these bags the next time I buy corn. I've still got these tubs here that I'm going to use. They've just got homemade tomato sauce in them. That has got my ice cube coffee. That's got the kids' apple juice, and that's got other cubed lemon and blueberries. And this is kind of like the sweet section. I've got heaps of these things from Costco months ago. They're crepes, that's a banana cake, and some cookies there. I do freeze my avocados when they start to go off, and I use them to make guacamole, avocado on toast. Don't waste them. I do the same with tomatoes. This is my own little tomato because through winter we used up all of our tomatoes, which I'm super happy with. The kids have got their little ice blocks up the back there, ready for them, staying nice and chilled. But this is the end goal I want, where I can just pull it out and use it. Pull it out and use it. And I like these bigger bags. It's giving me options on how full I make them. And they're the smaller sized ones up there. I have used the silicone ones before, and I thought they were great, but I'm actually enjoying the bigger one of these with the bases on them. I think they're really handy. All of our frozen fruit and more, I've got like more hidden up behind there, in behind there. So we need to start making some blueberry muffins. We need to start having mango and strawberries with our Greek yogurt for breakfast. But it's all there, it's accessible. It's like when you go to a grocery store and you look and you see. Before, I couldn't see any of this, and I actually made the assumption, I'm gonna let the freezer chill and do its thing. I made the assumption that my freezer, I had 2 more bags of frozen blueberries, and I'm doing a massive cook this week for snacks and dinners. That's why I went to get the freezer cleaned out with my hair today. I don't have any muffins. I've got no pancakes for the kids. I usually have hot pancakes. I have no muffin. I have nothing apart from those 2 packets of biscuits. So it was handy organizing it. I've written on my inventory the things I want to get added to my freezer and the things I've got too much of. And I'm excited to do my cooking, and that's why I like to organize, so you can see things. It's not hidden. And I'm not different to anyone else. Life gets busy and you just chuck things in, but just having things stacked and a bit more accessible. I want these eventually to all be sitting up like this, just stacked in this little freezer. That's how I want them to all sit, so I can see what is in there, but these are making it a bit challenging. Again, look how that's frozen compared to look how that has been frozen. Just so much more neater, and not neater from a sense, oh, look how nice it looks. I can fit more in my freezer because look at all this gap space in here and in here, because I just can't fit it in like this here. I've gotten, these are the meat pies. Again, it'll be like a little book. I'm just pulling out of my freezer of the things I need. I did not want to put this bread here. It's actually on top of all of the deli meats underneath, but I had no other room for it. And then down the very bottom, I have all those little bits of bread. The ends that we use to make our garlic bread, or my husband just eats, they're all in this bag here. This is our pizza bases on top, and then our little frozen parts down there. I would love to have the freezer sorted so that's all bread, or that's all raw meat that's not cooked yet. And then over here, I would like all of that to be the frozen berries, that to be all the pre-cooked. It's not reality. I've had to make do with what I've got. And you guys will as well. It doesn't have to be Pinterest or Instagram worthy. It needs to be functional. And for me, this is a lot more functional than where it was. There is more I want to do to it. So when it comes down to when we eat the banana cake, I'm going to store that maybe a little bit differently. These will get stored differently. These ones here, so this is the largest size. That's the next size down. They do smaller ones again. I reckon probably about that high they are. I want to get those to put my sauces in. So I've got a few plans I'd like to do. But again, when we move, I would also like to get a big freezer because I'd like to do more cooking and stock it better. But that is it, guys. I have got a bunch of rubbish there. Some stuff I'm going to rinse out the bags and take back to Coles to do the recycling for the soft plastics. Yes? I can't remember what I was saying, guys. It didn't take long. I guess that was my point, is that I've got no rubbish. We're having dinner tonight. We're actually going to be having meat pies and veggies, hence the corn sitting there and those meat pies in that freezer. I've got room. I thought I was out of room. So when I do this massive cook I want to do later in the week, I've actually got room to put things in. I hope you enjoyed the video. It's not something that I think you would want to do. I've done this because I want to be organized so I can see things, not have food waste. When I'm not in the mood for cooking like the past week and a half has been, I can find things in my freezer, and I'm surprised at what I don't have in my freezer that I thought I had. But I hope you enjoyed this video. I will have more coming on my fridge and freezer organizing in the weeks to come. I hope you enjoyed this video, and we will talk soon, guys. Bye.